Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Canadian Bowler Podcast. I'm your host, Lucas Caldwell, and today I'm with my wonderful co-host, Darryl Fitzgerald.
How's it going, Luke? Good to be here.
Pretty good, Darryl. I'm happy that we finally decided to do a podcast after talking about it for I don't even know how long, about a year maybe.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while.
Yeah, so I don't know who is all going to watch our podcast. Hopefully, people from far and wide and locally here in the country. But not everyone might not know who we are. So why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself?
My name is Darryl Fitzgerald. I am a bowler here in Canada. I live in Ontario, so I have a very central Canada kind of perspective here. But I was a national team player for about 5 years. National youth and development coach under Bowls Canada. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. I've played bowls for over 20 years. I've coached regionally, locally at the club, provincially, and nationally and internationally. I am a certified performance coach. I trained master coach developer and a coach evaluator under our NCCP model here in Canada. So I've been trained, I've taken courses. So hopefully I can coach a little bit. And I mean, the only other thing you need to know about me is that I just love bowls. Absolutely love bowls.
Well, that sounds like you're pretty impressive, Darryl. I would, I guess I could tell a little bit about myself. Not nearly as impressive as you, but I've been playing the sport of bowls since I was, I think, 7 years old. And I'm 25 now, so a little while. I'm getting up there in age, I'm catching up to the prime lawn bowling age, as people might say. I'm actually an ex-national team player. I recently stepped away from the team due to personal reasons. I've won 2 Canadian championships in the under 25 and the under 18 divisions. I've played with a lot of people, played all over the world, done a lot of fun things. I hope I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. I've worked a lot with Darryl, so maybe I can help break down a few things. But just excited to get this podcast going with Darryl. I think we're gonna have some good chats and be able to break down some clips and talk about some current events.
I hope so. I think this is going to be really fun. And if we get some community feedback from anybody that watches this, I think it'll just make it that much better.
Yeah, I agree, Darryl. I think it'll be really good after this first intro show. When we get if we can get some guests going. And we can have some live chat going, get everyone right into the podcast, and we can kind of have a group collective effort.
I think so. That's the goal, really. We want it to be interactive. We want it to be fun, not a boring show where we're just kind of talking about whatever's going on. We want it to be interactive and interesting to everybody that's watching.
Yeah, I agree, Darryl. I think that's the best way to do it. What did you want to go into first here, Darryl? Did you want to talk about this crazy clip that's gone viral over the last about a week here?
Yeah, why not? I can set it up for you. So I actually cut a clip of my own and put it onto our YouTube channel, but it's a clip of Nick Brett at the World Bowls Tour. It's been making the rounds on social media. It's been making the rounds on mainstream sporting shows, which is really weird because you never see bowls on there, especially in North America.
I was impressed when I seen it on the that's number 1 on the top 10 on TSN today.
I know, that blew me away.
Yeah,
you're kind of looking for like a sick dunk or the hockey highlight of the night, but bowls was number 1, and that just blew me away. It's awesome to see. It started a lot of conversation, so how about we just take a look? We can
let's
see what it looks like. All right.
Yeah. You ready?
And here we go.
All right. It's cool too because I know a lot of people who watch the clip online probably didn't realize that they're playing against arguably the best pair in the world too. So with Alex Marshall and Paul Foster.
That's it, right? Like, it's probably 4 of the top people that you want to be seeing on the blue carpet.
Correct. Yeah.
And what the clip on social media doesn't show you is exactly how many great shots there were in this end to set up just a phenomenal shot, right?
Gotta love that Scottish delivery, right, Daryl?
The little jogging off the mat.
Oh yeah, a
It's,
little
it's
extra power, you know.
it's patented in Scotland, I think. So you had Greg Harlow make that fantastic shot, and then Paul Foster comes and makes an equally fantastic shot, just to knock over the bowl and sit one or two possibly. Get that sound going for you.
Yeah. Did you have the sound to huff?
Well, I must have had it muted.
Northern Ireland who are leaving us. You can join
not
us on
exciting
BBC
yet,
iPlayer, BBC Sport
We can talk
app,
over it,
and
right?
the BBC
Yeah, of
Sport website. So a variety of ways to keep watching this very interesting final.
It's a pretty good shot there too.
Join us
Maybe
there.
not a highlight reel, but he's in great position there.
Exactly.
We might be one down, but whatever. Thanks.
I mean, if you watch some of the bowls in this of people who don't really go on the blue carpet and don't play under this kind of pressure, bowls are not that close.
No.
Like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure I would not be that close.
Seventh end of any 9-end set. So
Here
important.
comes the man, Alex
team
Marshall
that's
to the mat.
behind really needs to score.
I mean, people may not know Greg Harlow as much outside of the UK, just because he's a huge player in the World Bowls Tour.
Certainly with Nick and Greg at the moment.
People, I mean, Paul Foster and Alex Marshall, there's no introduction needed. They dominate bowls every year all over the world.
Down.
It's just brilliant.
That's a brilliant shot there too.
Up closer again.
Now in Canada, one of the first calls that I'd probably hear from a skip when they see that is, why don't you hit it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no way you're getting in there. No way you're making the shot here. So just hit it.
The reaction is perfect too, right?
Right.
You got 6 inches. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's impressive too, his composure to get back on the mat, and then obviously magic happens. But
Yeah. And here's the clip, right?
Quality of these guys, you wouldn't expect them to miss either, to be honest.
Well, he's very close to splitting the two red bowls.
Absolutely fantastic. Just
wild. Oh, look at this. Oh, that is
it really is ridiculous. The commentator hit it nail on the head there.
It is ridiculous.
Exactly, yeah.
What a ball.
What are you doing here if you're Alex Marshall, Daryl?
I'd probably say the same thing.
I'd be throwing an absolute rocket at this, I think.
Sure, you'll be playing with weight into this, but that was outrageous.
Like, doesn't touch a thing. No rub, no wick, no anything. Just cold draw right to the jack.
And then pulls it over to his other one too.
Exactly, yeah. Incredible.
Yeah,
Nick was
it really is.
pleased with that, to
I
be fair.
think
Just a little humble brag there, right? Little fist
Yeah.
bump.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
gonna be sure.
Whatever.
A lot of people would have went nuts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just, pick your weight.
And you're not expecting Alex Marshall to miss this either.
No.
I mean, he gets a interesting result where he doesn't move the jack really.
Yeah, probably not what he was looking for, but
No.
nice controlled weight. You hit the target anyways. We'll hit something.
Yeah.
Still the one, mate. Backhand draw.
Now here's the part that I think's even more impressive than the actual clip that went viral. Like the ability he has to be able to step back on the mat, and then he makes an equally brilliant shot the other way.
Exactly. You know, switching hands. You just, who knows what kind of adrenaline's going through your body when you made that shot,
Exactly.
and just zone in, focus, make that shot again, and
Yeah, and like in reality, he made the exact same bowl on the other hand. There's just not two bowls to go through.
Exactly.
Goodness me. You were thinking the same as me, Rob.
And that's the clip there. I mean, it's it's absolutely disgusting what he did.
It is.
Two
It is.
perfect shots, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing that everyone tries to do, right? It's always talk about like, let's continue repeat shots. It's like, yeah, it's cool if you can make one, but can you do it again?
Yeah.
And clearly he was able to do that there. Yeah.
And the firestorm that this kind of brought up in social media and on mainstream sporting sites has been incredible.
Well, I think I seen a clip on, I think the clip on TSN or the score yesterday. I think it was over 200,000 views. Like, when's the last time anything in lawn bowls got 200,000 views?
Exactly. Right. And that's just a few days
Right.
of viewing it. There's still going to be more that get to see it a little bit later
Yeah,
as we go
that's
on.
for sure.
Simply incredible. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of wrote a little bit of an article about it when this came out. Fantastic shot, fantastic game. If you watch the whole game, it was nip and tuck the whole way. These guys are some of the best that played the game. But in fact, in terms of the social media and the effect that it's had, where bowls has kind of landed in the lap of a whole bunch of people. We as bowlers, our associations, our provincial associations, all that kind of stuff. My question was, are we doing enough to capitalize on this to kind of sneak our message of come and give it a try and get people to maybe think about trying bowls based on what they see here?
Right. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think Bolts Canada did a pretty decent job on putting up that other clip, the Ryan Bester clip, online, where they showed like, oh, like which clip do you think is better, or whatever they had posted. I don't want to. I'm paraphrasing here, but
Yeah.
and I thought that was awesome that they tried to capitalize on that. And I realized that some people who maybe watched it thought, oh, this is two separate clips. But I think the whole point of them posting it was which clip is more exciting than the other, not which clip is better.
Yeah, no, and I think
a
you're
better
right.
bowling shot. So I think going that way, I think they actually did a really good job because the Nick Brett shot obviously has much more skill involved. It's incredible. It's like a 1 in a million shot almost, right?
Right.
And the Ryan Bester is just an absolute laser beam down the middle. But that's why he is who he is. So
Yeah. They don't call him the Master Blaster for no reason, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it actually showed what kind of excitement there is in bowls. I mean, yeah, there's the periods where it's draw this, draw that, and nothing really happens. But that's like any other sport. You watch baseball for 9 innings. How many of those innings does nothing really happen?
Yeah, I have to agree. And like I said, I've been playing since I was 7 years old. I've watched a ton of bowls. I've played a ton of bowls. And I've sat there and watched games and been like, oh man, I can't watch this. I gotta go do something. Like, I'm so bored. And then there's other times where you go and it's like shot after shot after shot, and it's like, wow, this is really fun to watch. This is really impressive. So I can completely understand why maybe some people don't think it's super exciting all the time.
Exactly. And I mean, I know that a lot of the sporting outlets here kind of made fun of the crowd that was in attendance.
Yeah,
So
and the retirement signs on the wall or whatever it is, the host sponsor.
Exactly. So I mean, it doesn't paint a great picture, but I think the message that I try to put out there, and I know that you do as well, and so do a lot of other people, is it's not just an old person sport.
Yeah,
Right?
and I have to agree. I don't know if this is going to be a great segue or not, but then again, look at our national team. They just got recently selected to go play the World Bowls Championship.
Why don't we go into that?
Yeah, let's do it. So, like, if we break that down, the average age is much lower than people would probably expect. So, yeah, Darryl, you're a little bit closer to this than me, so I'll let you break this one down.
Yeah, I mean, I might have a little insight knowledge just because I helped select these guys, but I've got a nice montage of pictures here, or a collage, I should say. We've got Ryan Bester, one of our cornerstone players, up at the left-hand corner there. Right across from him is Greg Wilson from Alberta. He's a year younger than I am. We've got John Bazier down in the bottom left, Cameron Lafrane in the middle, and young Robbie Law, who's the youngest guy on that 5-man squad, down in the right-hand corner. Do you see any gray hairs in there? I'm not sure.
Oh, you never know with Rob. He gets a little stressed out from time to time. There might be a couple gray hairs in there.
And for our women, up at the left top, we've got Jackie Foster. In the big picture to the right is Kelly McCarahan. She's one of the cornerstones of our women's team. Plays down in Australia, very, very good. Leanne Chinnery is in the middle. On the left-hand side, she plays down in New Zealand. She was born in Victoria, but hasn't been there for quite some time, so some Canadians might not be 100% familiar with her. Joanna Cooper is down in the bottom left, and Jordan Koss on the right bottom, and she's the youngest player, kind of the Robbie Law of the women's side. Has just hit the national stage in the last year or so, but is making strides and doing a fantastic job. And as you can see, young players on both sides.
Yeah, for me, it's actually really exciting to see some of the younger members getting picked up to go play in these big events, because like I've been playing with them since I was a young kid, and to see them finally like hit their stride and be good at the right times and get to go to these events and actually do really well, which is the impressive part for me.
Exactly.
And then like alongside, like Rob got the awesome chance to play with Ryan at the Asia Pacific Championships, and like that would have been an amazing experience. Probably taught him a lot, and it just helped him get better going forward, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough that I can say about these players. We've got a lot of good players in Canada. Some of them are hidden in provinces, and not a lot of people know about them. But these 5 were picked out of a grouping of players, and everybody is fighting for the chance to play. And I want to congratulate these 5, or these 10, I should say, 5 on each side, for making the World Bowls team. They're going to be competing at World Bowls Championships for Canada, and hopefully everybody watching this and following us on social media and Bowls Canada on social media will keep tabs on it, cheer them on, and give them all the support that they need to be successful.
Yeah, it really is helpful from being in a position where I've been playing over yonder, I suppose. It's really nice when people just message you or write on Facebook and just trying to check in, see how you're doing, and give you a little pep talk to get you going. So I think if people really push it and help them out, I think it'll go a long way.
I think so too. I actually have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Having played down there, I've only been down there to coach, so I've only rolled a few bowls. Being at Broad Beach, being in Australia, playing in a championship, how did you feel when you played there?
So I mean, I had an awesome time there. My bowling maybe wasn't as good as I maybe hoped it was going to be going in. I think I maybe backed myself into a corner when I expected the moon or expected the stars, but I was never going to reach that.
Right.
And I remember the first day I went out there, I was lucky enough to have you as my coach, and you kind of helped me out and got me ready. And I remember I'm sitting there on the mat, I'm playing against a gentleman from Papua New Guinea, and I'm standing on the mat, my first bowl. I've been down there for 2 weeks, I think, at this point, and I'm standing there, and I get nervous all the time, but I have never felt anything like this. I'm standing there on the mat, and the bowl is in my hand, and it's like wobbling from side to side so bad. Like I'm like, how am I going to throw the bowl? I feel like I'm going to be sick,
Right.
and I don't even know why. This is just like a round robin match, nothing crazy. Playing against somebody I've never met. And then I ended up rolling the bowl, and it was a back resting toucher, which I don't even know how I did it because I could barely keep my hand straight on the mat. So, but other than that, everything, it's just wild. The clubs they have going down there, the restaurants, and all the people are so nice and they're so helpful. The thing that I thought was the coolest is that people actually come off the road and pay to go play lawn bowls, and they go hang out and have a good time. They got the music playing. You can have a drink if you'd like, and go inside for a bite to eat after. And it's like all the clubs I went to were in absolutely amazing locations. So everything about it's beautiful, and it's awesome. Like I would love to go back.
And I mean, as a coach, it was a great experience. But watching you guys play as players, and understanding the pressure that you guys were under, it's amazing to watch. And I know that despite somebody having the best time, the worst time, as far as matches go, I haven't had a person say like, I don't want to go back. I hate this. This is awful. Whether it's heartbreak or exhilaration or whatever it is, everybody wants to play there.
Yeah, and like I can only speak for myself, but from my experience, like I didn't have the best run, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was special because when I was there, a friend of mine, Priscilla Westlake, actually ended up winning the championship, which was very cool and
That's right.
something I might never see again. So I was really excited for that, even though obviously I wasn't the one who got to hoist the trophy. At least one of us did. And I thought that was really cool. So
That's right. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, it's a good time. What do you think about coaching down there, Darryl? Do you think it's different from coaching here at home, or is it about the same?
Uh, in my perspective, it's very different. I mean, I like to apply the same kind of principles here in Canada, but just the green speed, the type of shots being played, the type of tactics and strategy that you use down there, and especially just the level of play, and having players that come down there understand these are some of the best players in the world. You're playing people who are fighting for their chance to make the Australian team, the New Zealand team, whoever it is, and it's not the same as Canada. Like in Canada, there's a lot of I'll hit first and clean up later. You can play some running shots, all that kind of stuff. And as a coach, I need to break some of those habits when you go down there and say, it's not the same game. Right. It doesn't play the same way. So it was tough. Principles are the same. I mean, you want good fundamentals, all that stuff, but it is a different game, and you have to prepare yourself for that, whether you're a player or a coach.
Yeah, the thing that I think I probably learned the most about playing on a surface that was so quick, it's almost like playing on an indoor for me, in the sense that you don't, like, if you're in trouble, you don't always have to throw the heater like maybe you would here, because at home, the greens aren't perfect. They're not 17 seconds, and you can't draw around everything. Where in a place like Australia, if the green is great, which most of them are, you have the ability to draw around every ball on the green, get to almost any position on the green at any time.
Exactly.
So, like, that's another thing you have to learn. So it's
exactly
tough.
Right.
Yeah. What else did you want to break down today, Darryl? Did you want to go through the past Canadian championships of the last year, or did you want to save that one?
We can do that in the next show. This one doesn't have to be super long. This is kind of our intro show to see if everything works. If I mean, we're looking good. I mean, obviously, that's really good. I kind of wanted to talk about some of the stuff that maybe we have coming up. I, for one, I'm going to be trying to carve out a little space to do sort of coaching stuff. So what do you need to be a coach? How do you become a coach in Canada? What are the levels and what do they mean? And going through drills and training tips and all that kind of stuff for players. So if you come here and you have a question, hopefully I can answer it for you, or at least provide you some insight into what we're trying to do in Canada as far as coaching and developing players goes. I know there's not a ton of information out there. Sometimes it's hard to find. So if you come here, hopefully I can provide that for you in a short little segment as part of our ongoing shows. Hopefully they're ongoing for a while.
Hope so. Hopefully anyway. Yeah. I would like to. For me, I'm not really sure what I would like personally to be able to help you with the show, but obviously I would like to help as much as I can. I think a big thing that I never did when I was playing for the national team, but I think could actually go a long way, whether it be towards just sponsorships or whatever else, would be for people, for example, like the young people on the national team, or even the old, like some of the veterans on the team, like Greg or Ryan or Kelly, would be to actually push their social media presence and be like let people in on what's going on when you're away, because like nobody really gets to know what it's like unless you go, right? Because no one's on Twitter or on Facebook saying, oh, we did this today, so and so. So I think a thing I would like to talk about would be just the social media aspect of it, where people could like be more open with everybody else in the country and whatnot. So
no, I agree. And one thing I wanna say is while we're kind of in the infancy of this show, Luke and I are working at trying to make the production quality a little bit better from time to time, make sure everything's running smoothly, which I can say won't happen every time. We want to be able to bring on quality guests to talk about stuff. We want to give you good information, talk about events. If you're out there watching, if you're watching us live, or if you're watching us after and can put in the comments, make sure you reach out to us and tell us what's going on. Those people, the people out in Nova Scotia, they can tell us what's going on. The people out in BC can tell us what's going on. And if we can start to bring people closer together and say, hey, this stuff is working great on East, maybe it'll work out in the West, or vice versa. This is a place where we can actually bring people together.
I think it'd be really cool too if we had like a little segment at some point where suppose if people from Nova Scotia sent us something and people from BC sent us something about like their results and their like competitive tournaments that they have going on, the same thing that we have here and across the country, and we could kind of have a little highlight section for the people who are doing
I like
well
that.
from province to province. I think that'd be really neat. I was also thinking for me, Daryl, I know we've talked about it a little bit to ourselves, but I think for me, my biggest goal with the podcast at some point would be to be able to take it on the road. So
Okay.
suppose we go to the Canadian Championships and we could sit down with, I don't know, let's just say a Pat Bird or somebody, and we could sit down for an hour and have a nice chat with somebody and like get a little bit of insight on them and see what's going on. I think that'd be really cool to be able to do it face to face, just a real personable. I think that'd be really awesome.
I think so too. I think that's a really, really great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when that would boot up, but that for me, that's like kind of my goal.
That's fantastic, and I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, do you have anything else you're looking forward to for the year, whether it be at the podcast or just in your personal bowling stuff?
I will be. We'll go into World Championships, so that's going to be exciting. Supporting the squads out there as a coach under Terry Scott, our head coach. I guess locally, for me, I'm really excited to get into provincial play. Last year came, I'll say, very, very close to actually make it to the nationals, and I was playing with you, with young Owen Kirby here, and with Jack Fowler.
Yeah,
Probably the youngest team I've ever played with, and it was fantastic. So I'm really, really looking forward to repeating that again and seeing if we can make that magic happen again.
Yeah, that's probably my. I'm probably looking for that the most of the year. I know the under 25 national championships are here in Peterborough at my home club, so I hope lots of people come out and show up for that, and I hope we can have a good time there. But last year we were so close, and we tried so hard, and it was a team that was almost thrown together last second with Jack being a replacement for another gentleman that was supposed to play with us. So
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool how well we did and how much fun we had, even though obviously we didn't quite make it there, but. It was still awesome. Third place finish is great. So I hope again we can make some magic happen. And you never know.
And one of the big tournaments that I love is WOBA. It's played at my club. It's one of the bigger tournaments in Canada as far as getting people together and being across a couple days. It is a men's tournament, but it's exciting. It's fun. It's very competitive. We get some great bowlers from all over North America, I'll say. And this year we should get even more since it's been doing really well. One of the guests that I hope that we can get on here is maybe someone from the WOBA board or committee to just come on and talk about it and talk about the history, because this year is the 125th year that it's been running, and it would be just great to see some get some understanding and perspective on what it means to be running that long and to be going still in a sport that's sometimes struggling to be relevant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last year was my first WOBA I ever played, and I had an awesome time. It just the whole thing of it's fun, it's competitive, like you said. And yeah, I think it would be really cool to speak to somebody. I don't know a lot about the history of it other than just from since I've been playing. So yeah, it would be really cool to break it down and kind of see what's been going on for all these years.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's all I got, Daryl. Unless you got something else.
No, I think that's kind of a good kickoff for the show. Obviously, this is our pilot episode. We're just kind of getting into it, so hopefully we'll be able to expand and add some more stuff in the future. But I think for just our first little teaser kind of thing, I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah, well, with that being said, thank you everybody who tuned in. If you have any advice, any feedback, please let us know, whether it be on this video or to my personal Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my phone number, whatever you got, or same with Daryl. We really do appreciate it. And thank you very much for tuning in. And until the next one, may all your shots be touchers.
See you guys.